Jason. Sawford, Jason Saulnier here. JS and
Hi.
JS, how's it going?
Yeah, it's a similar names. Yes. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm cool. Yeah, I'm here in Salt Lake City at the moment, and just just hanging in my hotel doing interviews.
And getting prepared for the big tour in North America.
Yeah. Yes, yes. So our first show of the new tour starts tomorrow in Salt Lake City. So yeah, I'm getting ready.
So how's the Australian Pink Floyd show been doing these days? You've been keeping very busy.
We are very busy. I mean, I basically end up living on a bus most of the time because we've got so many shows coming in. This year has been very busy, and we did a major European tour early in the year, and we were busy all over the summer, and now here we are in North America doing a lot of other more gigs.
In October 30th, you're coming back to Halifax, Nova Scotia. That's incredible. You guys always come here, and that's good to see in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that gig, actually, yeah. So it's a nice place.
How's the stress level on touring nowadays? Is it getting easier, or how is it for you in your eyes?
I mean, touring can be challenging. It can be tiring, and you've got to sort of get used to it. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, we've got our own methods of coping with things, and succeeding. It's as I said, it's a lot of traveling, and you have to give up a lot of things in your personal life. But I mean, it also has a lot of rewards as well. So we managed to get by with it.
And of course, playing the Pink Floyd music and paying homage to Pink Floyd every night, it's a good thing to do.
It certainly is, and I think the people appreciate it. You can see it in the smiles and the enthusiasm of our audience, and that makes me feel good about it.
And I read on your little biography on AussieFloyd.com that you played with Rick Wright, at the David Gilmour's birthday party.
I did, yeah. That was amazing when it happened because we were about to do Comfortably Numb, and Rick asked if he could play the Hammond organ that I had. So I said, yeah, no problem. So he came up and he said that told me to play the synthesizer, and he played the organ, and we played Comfortably Numb together. And there he was. I was sitting there shoulder to shoulder with Rick Wright from Pink Floyd. It was absolutely amazing.
And that, of course, feels good in your resume, I'm sure.
Yes, that is.
For Pink Floyd eras, what are we going to be seeing in this tour?
Well, on this particular tour, we try to take a very balanced view, try to cover a bit of everything, really. So we go right back from the Syd Barrett era to the early psychedelic era of Pink Floyd, right through their classic middle, Dark Side, Wish You Were Here era, Animals. We do something from the Final Cut, and then into the post-Roger Waters era, Division Bell, Momentary Lapse of Reason. So we do a bit of everything, including all the well-known classics and some more unusual numbers as well.
Now, this is an interesting question for you, Jason. Let's say from playing in Pink Floyd's, tribute band, Australian Pink Floyd Show, doing Pink Floyd every night, do you get sometimes tired of playing Pink Floyd?
I don't know whether I get tired of playing Pink Floyd, although sometimes it'd be nice to do other things as well, but it keeps me very busy. The thing about Pink Floyd is that it's, you can come back to it again and again, and there's always something new in it. And, when we do a different tour with a different set of songs, then they appear fresh again and they seem new again. So, there's ways of keeping your interest in it.
Now, do you personally listen to Pink Floyd all the time? How does that go for you?
Well, when I listen to Pink Floyd, I tend to study it. So it's like when I'm at home and I listen to some Pink Floyd, I do tend to listen to it as a kind of study thing because I can't help it. If I saw a documentary on Pink Floyd, I'm analyzing it. So that's what I do when I listen to it, really.
Are you always learning new stuff and rediscovering Pink Floyd?
There's stuff that we've covered most of the major areas of Pink Floyd, but I mean, you still got some unusual number which we haven't done, and we might look at how we're going to do it. And a lot of the time is taken up in how to achieve certain kinds of sounds or messing around with the technology. I'll go into my keyboards and work out how to do this or how to do that, and that itself can be very time-consuming.
How's the wear and tear on your equipment on tour?
Well, you do get wear and tear on things. After a few years, they get a bit, they wear down, and I have to buy something new. And then that means I have to redo a lot of the stuff because sometimes it's very difficult to to get a new keyboard that is exactly like the old one. Things change, and you have to learn a new operating system and so on. So it's you do get wear and tear, and that's one reason why you have to keep updating it, because you can't use old equipment all the time. Even though that sounds great, it just falls apart. sheer pressure of touring, and we do like over 120 gigs a year sometimes.
Here's a question for you, Jon Lord. How has his playing changed you in some ways? With the passing of Jon Lord.
Yeah, I was very sad to hear that. I mean, I loved his playing, and I love Deep Purple, and he's good thing. He's kind of like started out as a classical musician, and I was listening to his concerto for orchestra and rock band, and it's pretty good actually. He's a very fine musician, and a really great style of playing. I love it.
You think keyboards are going to evolve in the next 50 years? Different sounds are going to be coming out. How is that in your eyes?
I think there will always be. I mean, keyboard technology is changing all the time, and music technology is changing. And it does sort of create new sounds, new techniques, which in turn will probably influence the future of music and developing new styles of music. So, I would love to listen to what the music of 50 years' time will be like, where they'll have new technology that will be, how people experience and write music in totally new ways.
You think Pink Floyd, let's say, would come out in 50 years from now, it would have been different?
Yeah, I mean, they might have certain elements of their style, but I think they would probably exploit the technology of the day, and it might be different. Yeah, that's quite an interesting question. If those individuals were writing in 50 years' time, what they would come out with.
But they just came out in the late 60s, and that's what we had at that time, which ended up being classics today.
Oh yeah, I mean it's still sort of like a classic music now, and that's a really interesting period of music, and what they did with it, and the equipment was new, but in a way it's quite simple, but they managed to get some amazing sounds out of it.
In your eyes, what is your favorite Pink Floyd era?
Well, I think it has to be that classic era of the Dark Side. There's that pre-Dark Side era like Pompeii. Echoes, that whole era then. I think that's my favourite era. They were sort of very experimental, and yet they were kind of lyrical as well. It's an interesting period of their history, I think.
You think with social media and stuff like that today, like Facebook, etc., it is getting people to rediscover Pink Floyd and find out about Pink Floyd for the first time?
I think so. I mean, you've got things like YouTube, which has got all these classical tracks and film material of Pink Floyd, and it's easier for people to find out and discover all this heritage now with these new type of things. And I think we're playing our part in it, in the sense that we're promoting the music of Pink Floyd, and it's finding new audiences all the time.
So, of course, is this Canadian tour going to go up till when? November sometime?
Our Canadian dates will go right up to, November the 6th.
Okay.
In Ottawa is our final Canadian date. So we're doing quite a few dates in Canada this time.
And from there, do we have anything rigged up for 2013 as well?
We are. I mean, we don't know what our dates will be in Canada for next year, but we are planning the tour as we speak. What we're doing, and we'll see when it comes out. We're celebrating Dark Side of the Moon, but what final form the show will take, we've still yet to decide.
Well, Jason Sawford, been a pleasure talking to you about Pink Floyd, the Australian Pink Floyd Show, and guys, coming up October 30th again in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Going to be a great show.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, you have a great week and a great tour.
All right, thank you very much, Jason.